Hey, what's up, besties? It's your girl, Elaine Michelle, and I'm back with another video. Thank you so much for stopping back by my channel. If this is your very first time, I need you to stop what you're doing, click the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss any more of my videos. Today's video is going to be part of a series, and I can't remember the last time I've actually participated in a series and really done it, but I'm really excited to be doing this with Shay. You guys know that this month is Financial Literacy Month, and Shay and I are embarking on a whole journey, and I can't wait for you guys to see what the end results are going to be. But this is just a way for you guys to get a chance to know us a little better and to know our style and some of our tips and tricks and different things like that we have to offer. So when you're done watching my video, go head over to Shay's video and check out how she started, because today's video, series video day one, is going to be why we got started. So if you're interested, then stay tuned. All right, so money management is a whole thing, right? And some people learn it when they're younger, and some people learn it when they get older, really older. And there's a big gap in between becoming an adult and actually adulting, because it's two different things. So anyways, I got started. I always had a job. I had a job when I was 16. I was working. I became a shift manager as soon as it was available for me to become one with my age. And then from there, I literally was working Arby's till probably my second year in college. I stopped going home to working at Arby's, but I was loving the job. I always kept money in my pocket, and I paid a bill at my house. So the thing was, I was always taught how to pay bills. So what did I do? I paid all my bills, and I blew most of the money on everything else. That's including when I would get my student loan back. I would get my student loan refund check, pay all the bills, pay everything that needed to be paid. I paid up my rent. I would pay up a water bill or a cable bill or something for a while. And then everything else was mine. I spent it. It's mine. I spent it. That was life for me. And I lived that life from the time I was in college until probably about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, when I was something has got to change. I had my son, and I was a single mom. Me and his dad didn't work out, so it was all that pressure of a single mom being left on me. And I really wanted to be I just want to move back home with my brother. We'll all just live in one house together. Life will be great and everything will be okay. But I knew that that wasn't going to be the life for me. I know that I cannot depend on others to make sure that I'm okay. I first need to try it on my own. I need to give something else a try. I have been doing it this particular way, and I really thought I was doing good until I didn't have money in my pocket. I would literally go from paycheck to paycheck, living on my last, and everything I would put into my savings, quote unquote savings account, I was using that as my crutch. So even when I would spend all my money and all of that stuff, I still was getting to the point where I didn't have any money. There was no real cash flow. Now, did I have the latest Jordans? Yes. Did I have the latest makeup? Yes. Did I have all of the latest technology? Yes, you're right. I did. And I spent a lot of my money on things that I wanted. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to learn how to be responsible. So I had a wake up call one day. I was actually talking to my dad. They were talking about garnishing my paycheck for my student loans. And I was like, yo, I cannot have this. I'd already had one happen before. Okay. So the hospital, I don't know where I got this knowledge from, but not paying a hospital is still not okay. I got this thing in my head that I wasn't going to pay the hospital bill that was left over. My insurance had taken care of everything. We're good, right? And this was after I had my son. So about a year into it, maybe about a year and a half later, I started getting letters, and they were saying they were going to do this, they were going to do that. Okay, cool. Do this and do that. In the meantime, I moved apartments. I moved from, when I was getting ready to have my son, I moved from one place over to another apartment. And when I left that apartment, I didn't give them the notice that they needed. I moved out correctly, but I didn't give them the notice that they needed. So with that being said, they were also coming after me, trying to garnish my paycheck as well, because they wanted their payments. Now, I called them after they had got $1,000 one week out of I had literally was about to be paid. I hadn't got paid yet. So I had a little bit of cash flow only because I had just gotten a bonus check. And so that bonus check was sitting in there and I was going to start this new life and all of that stuff. And they garnished that. Okay. So that was my first garnishment that had happened. And I was like, how can they just do this without letting me know? They had already told, like, they had already sent that in the mail, those letters, those court dates that I didn't appear for, all of that stuff that I was like just ignoring ended up coming back and biting me in the butt. So anyways, I set up a payment plan with them to get them over with. Mind you, I was payment plan with them, still trying to pay my rent over here, blah, blah, blah. I still had these hospital bills to come up. So the hospital bills came up and it was like, look, Shawty, you owe us, okay? This doctor needs her coins. I'm gonna need you to give her the coin. So they went through the process again, they went through the process. And this time I happened to catch something on my bank account that showed me that something was getting ready to come out. And it was at that moment that I realized I had to do something different because these hospital bills were extremely high. If you guys have ever had a child, you know how much it costs. And even though I had, at the time, I was still on 2 insurances for the most part of everything. Right up until I had my son, I was I was able to be on 2 insurances, which was my parents and mine, because you can last on your parents' insurance all up until you're 25. And after you turn 26, that's the cutoff month. So I was able to make it because Austin was born on September the 30th. So that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, I was like, that's going to take care of it. And it did not. So those things kept coming up, like the hospital bills. So I started paying them. In like, on payments. And then that student loan stuff happened. I've been trying to go to school, and I'm not going to say I don't like school, but school didn't become a priority when you're trying to adult your life. Like, had I been staying at home with my brother and just stayed there and tried to do the graduate school thing, I think it would have been a little bit easier because I would have been freer from having to have the adulting stresses that I have, because I know that those are some for me, but everyone is different. Different motivators work for different people. And then after I had my son, that was my motivation, but it didn't stick because I still was trying to work things out. So anyways, long story short, in this period of time, I was literally making too much money to be broke and not being able to even give them a payment on what they were saying they needed. And that was a struggle for me. And that's when I had my wake up calls. Like, look, I cannot, like, I literally cannot anymore. I have to do something different. It's not just for me anymore. It's for my son. I shouldn't have to call his dad. At the time, he wasn't doing as good as he is now. I shouldn't have to call him and ask him for diapers or for milk, like a gallon of milk. Like, yo, I just need you to bring a gallon of milk. Like, that was like so hurtful for me to know I was at this point where I don't get help. Like, they don't give you this kind of assistance and stuff just because you're a single mom. No, you have to qualify. And I did not qualify nowhere at all for any sort of financial assistance. I'm not even talking about child support. I'm talking about like food stamps and the monies that they give you to help with vouchers and daycare and all that stuff. All that stuff was coming out of my pocket. And so I knew there had to have been a change. There has to be a change. So I started looking up ways to like manage my money, financial management, budgeting tips, all of that stuff, because I had always been a person to write down everything that I owed and paid everything, but I didn't manage the extra money correctly. I needed to know how to actually manage my money. So that leads me to Dave Ramsey. I started reading the Dave Ramsey program, and well, actually, let me back that up. So I actually started talking to my brother about it. And my brother and I came up with this plan. We're going to attack my credit cards, and we're going to attack the ones that have the highest interest rate and work our way down. And so that was the plan I came up with, and it was going to be all great and grand. And then as I started learning more, I started being able to adapt more. If you have the money to be able to throw at something and you literally can like put large lump sums of money, don't wait and not do that. Like, I would never tell you to do that. Like, oh, just pay a little bit here. No, go ahead and take care of one and get it done and over with. But the enjoyment that you get out of paying your small amount off, using that small amount to put towards something else and into something else, it actually does feel good. So that was the Dave Ramsey program that I ran into, and I read the Total Money Makeover in like 2 days. I was hooked. I was hooked, and I was pumped, and I was ready to go. And not only that, I was ready to like share with everyone. Like, I wanted to share all of everything that I was learning with anyone that I could, because I realized a big struggle in our community is finances, not managing your money. And everything that we do is really tied into how we feel and operate with our money. When I was having a good day, I shopped. When I had a bad day, I shopped. When I wasn't feeling too well, when money got tight, I stopped paying bills. I stopped being financially responsible. You know what I mean? I need this $400 for my car note. Like, I'm going to use this over here. Like, I did all kinds of things just to get by, and I didn't want to get by anymore. So all of the knowledge that I gathered from just listening to like other sources, listening to Dave Ramsey, and I was able to put it all together and come up with something that will work for me. Everything that you do needs to work for you. It needs to be tailored to you. Yes, on the grand scheme of things, all of these things sound great, but every individual is different. Your mindset is different. The way you feel about money is different. No matter what I tell you every day, it's still going to feel different until you grasp it for what you need to grasp it for. So, all going back to why I started because I wanted to live better. I wanted to do better. I wanted to do more and have a better life for me and my son with what I was making. I know that at the time I wasn't really concerned about getting a house as I was before. I just wanted to live. I wanted to live and not have to worry about my paycheck anymore. Granted, everything was getting taken care of. I never had my lights cut off. I never had to deal with certain things like that. But I knew that I wasn't in a place where if something happened, that I would be able to survive on my own. I would have to depend on somebody else. And so I'm in a better place now. I'm happy. Like, I was just thanking God the other day because I literally had a paycheck and it didn't matter to me if the paycheck came or not. Like, I wasn't stressed or pressed. Like, I used to be 1201. Hey, let me see what my paycheck is look like. Knowing it's the same thing every time, but I need to make sure this paycheck hits. And so I was like living in that state of mind all the time. And now I guess it's happened. It has happened multiple times, but I just took the time to appreciate it because I didn't have to worry. There was no stress about that paycheck hitting. If something happened to it and I had to wait a couple of days, we were good. Like, we were okay. And that's the point where I want people to get to. You may never become this debt-free person that has eliminated all of your debt in 5 years. You may never be gazelle intense. But what you can do is control the money you have right now. Your job is to control what you have. And then once you control it, then you can figure out what things you need to move around so that you can become debt free and pay off those things. I am a big proponent of making sure that you pay all your bills, you pay yourself, you pay your tithes, and then you work on doing your debts and things like that, because it's terrible to have money you're owing to people and you're just letting it sit out there because things, like I said, garnishments happen, all of that stuff can come up and then affect you even more. So I hope I've helped someone learn where I came from and why I'm so passionate, because it means the world to me just to wake up and not feel like I'm stressed out about my money anymore. Not worried about my paycheck, not worrying about if it's going to come on time, if it doesn't, who I need to talk to, who I'm going to have to borrow from. Like, I just don't have those issues anymore. And it's like, again, I'm not saying that I'm completely debt free, but I'm at a peace of mind knowing that if I want to go on vacation, I can go. If I need to pay for a plane ticket, I can pay for the plane ticket and get where I need to go. Like, those are the things that I always dreamed of being able to do and thought it wasn't going to be possible, and now it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, this is a 5-week series. So every Monday in the month of April, you're going to see my face, and we're going to be talking something about finances. We're going to call it #Money Mondays, and it'll be me and Shay again. So you'll see us both, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, share, comment, get someone pumped. I hope you guys are pumped about it. Go watch Shay's video right now. And again, don't forget, we will be in New York, May the 17th for our Budget Mrs. Workshop. Tickets are still available, so make sure you guys snatch those up. You don't want to miss those workshops we have coming up. I'm excited. You guys get excited, and I will catch you in the next video. Mwah. KK, bye.